Hi everyone. A few updates today before we dig into the styles. First up, draft mode has arrived for V8.1. Each draft mode generation gives you 24 images at once, just at a lower resolution and quality, which makes it perfect for quickly exploring ideas. When you spot one you like, you simply click Vary on that image to render it at full quality and full resolution. The clever part is that draft jobs only use half as many fast hours as a normal V8.1 standard job, even though they are pumping out 24 images at a time. You can switch it on by clicking the little lightning bolt button up in the menu bar. There is also a new --preview parameter to play with. Midjourney is trying something new to let us test early versions of upcoming models. So if you add --preview to your prompt, you will get a peek at the very latest in-development model. Just keep in mind these are early days. The images can look a little unpolished, and the jobs are not guaranteed to run consistently over time. In this first test, you will notice differences across all of your images, especially anything using personalization or mood boards. If you give it a go, they would love to hear your thoughts over in the Ideas and Features channel. And then there is the big one. Midjourney has just announced Midjourney Medical, which is a pretty wild pivot from image generation. They are building a full-body ultrasonic scanner that lowers you into a shallow pool of water ringed with around 500,000 ultrasonic sensors. Sound waves fire through the body from every angle, and a compute cluster reconstructs all of that data into 3D cross-sectional images of muscle, fat, bone and organs, a technique they are calling ultrasonic CT. There is no radiation involved, and the eventual goal is a full scan in roughly 60 seconds, though the prototype is reportedly still closer to 20 minutes for now. The first Midjourney Spa is set to open in San Francisco towards the end of 2027. With a long-term dream of 50,000 scanners worldwide. It is a completely unexpected direction for them, but a genuinely fascinating one to keep an eye on. Okay, with the news out of the way, let's get back to what this channel is really about: hunting down SREF codes. This time, we are continuing through the SV6 number space and exploring the range 2000 to 2199. The format is simple, as always. I ran 200 codes through Midjourney using random word prompts, then picked out the 50 that pulled me in the most for this video. I much prefer real word prompts over a plain period symbol because they show you so much more about how each style actually behaves once you put real subject matter through it. The other 150 styles, along with every prompt I used, are bundled into a prompt PDF over on my Patreon, and a huge thank you to everyone supporting the channel through there. The settings are unchanged too: 9:16 aspect ratio, seed 777, and --HD is switched on. So with that, let's get into the styles. Raw, visceral energy drive this look, rendered in chaotic, high-contrast ink. Jagged lines and splatters define a gritty, desperate reality, with no room to breathe. Anatomy gets reimagined through a whimsical lens here, built from clean, organic line work. A soft, textured palette of muted blues and warm, earthy oranges keeps it gentle throughout. A magical storybook comes alive in bold ink lines and a dreamy, nocturnal palette. Whimsical creatures wander fantastical cities beneath a glowing crescent moon. Characters materialize straight out of shadow, lit by a vibrant cyan and green glow. The high-contrast world crackles with supernatural energy, making for dynamic, powerful portraits. Zany cartoon energy pops off the page through expressive ink linework and grey wash. It's a chaotic, retro-futuristic playground of mad science and oddball characters. Glossy, cell-shaded art erupts in a hyper-pop explosion of colour. Bold pinks, neons and crisp whites collide in a playful style pulled straight from Japanese street culture. A lost world of surreal flora unfolds, painted like the studies of an old naturalist. These dreamlike ecosystems blend scientific detail with mystery, glowing in muted, deep-sea tones. Retro glamour runs all the way through these bold graphic illustrations. A striking palette of red and black meets gritty, screen-printed texture for a dramatic, noir-inspired feel. Biomorphic structures spiral up into epic skies, detailed like a classical oil painting. The end result is a melancholic, awe-inspiring vision of fantastic realism. Mystical and bioluminescent, this world hums with a quiet sense of wonder. Fantastical creatures and alien flora glow an ethereal blue against deep indigo, calm and otherworldly. Intricate patterns and bold linework fill a striking black and white world. Surreal, dreamlike landscapes emerge wherever nature and abstraction collide. Vintage sci-fi posters inspire this graphic, screen-printed look. A bold palette of red and teal brings cosmic scenes to life across distressed, weathered paper. Impossibly soft creatures are rendered in hyper-detailed digital brushwork. A luminous palette of brilliant white and warm gold keeps everything pure, gentle, and elegant. Dynamic ink lines meet muted colour washes in a gritty mashup of influences. Feudal Japanese aesthetics fuse with modern streetwear to create wanderers full of attitude. Photorealistic subjects emerge from drifting wisps of sepia-toned smoke. The minimal, dreamlike palette makes the whole world feel both powerful and mysteriously serene. Dreamlike clouds swirl through epic East Asian landscapes. A serene, harmonious palette gives this modern, illustrative style the unmistakable feel of myth and magic. Vibrant neon ink explodes against a pitch-black void. High-contrast cyan, magenta, and orange build intricate, dark, and deeply surreal illustrations. Chaotic ink lines bleed into vibrant colour for a raw, gritty result. The focus lands squarely on intense, surreal eyes charged with aggressive energy. Crisp linework meets a sun-drenched golden palette, placing solitary figures before ancient mysteries. The lingering mood is one of lonely wonder and surreal adventure. Sharp, graphic shapes and energetic linework set the tone from the start. A high-contrast, desaturated palette of sepia and olive builds a moody, dramatic sci-fi world. Sharp botanical illustrations burst with neon energy against dark backdrops. Vibrant pinks and teals mingle with glowing gradients and dynamic painterly splatters. Ancient stones rise against hazy landscapes, captured on textured cinematic film. Bathed in low dramatic light, these monumental scenes feel powerful and profoundly still. A symphony of colour fills this warm, whimsical folk art style. Textured brushstrokes weave a vibrant tapestry of joyful patterns celebrating music, nature, and dreams. Surreal worlds unfold in bold ink lines and a warm, earthy palette. The grand cosmic scale dwarfs its solitary figures, leaving behind a sense of profound awe. Deep textured blues and brilliant gold build a dreamscape of celestial symbols. This whimsical folk art look pairs stylized nature with a serene, settled mood. Mythic elegance defines the look through sharp graphic line work and a tight palette. Black, cream, and lavender come together to conjure a mysterious, celestial dreamscape. A surreal biopunk universe plays out in high-contrast grayscale. Intricate web-like linework fuses skeletal anatomy with flowing organic forms for a dark, detailed vision. A cute medieval storybook comes to life in bold, sticker-like outlines and warm gold. Every knight and crest shines with playful, good-natured energy. Fiery colours burn through textured, high-contrast scenes. Solitary figures stand among decaying landscapes, building a powerful and melancholic visual narrative. A future imagined from the past, where colossal surreal structures interrupt vintage landscapes. It's a nostalgic, atomic-age dream filled with monumental, quiet wonder. Intricate biomechanical schematics sprawl across sheets of aged parchment. Polished brass and crimson machinery fuse with surreal anatomical forms in pure steampunk engineering. Punk rock energy drives these bold, inky lines and graffiti splatters. A high-contrast palette of hot pink and black hands it a rebellious, urban attitude. Grim fantasy unfolds in meticulous, controlled ink linework. A stark palette of rusted orange and deep teal brings these cosmic horrors vividly to life. Whimsical adventure runs through clean, expressive linework. A luminous golden hour glow makes every quiet little moment feel just a touch magical. Raw emotion comes through in bold, expressive charcoal strokes. Dynamic linework and deep shadows build intense, captivating portraits with a modern, confident edge. Intricate linework pairs with an unusual palette of muted pink and gold. The result is a lived-in sci-fi fantasy of nomadic pilgrims and ancient colossal beasts. Raw, nocturnal energy radiates through grainy film and saturated red light. It plays like an intimate, backstage glimpse into a world of confident, grunge-inspired allure. A surreal dreamscape takes shape in bold ink linework and a muted, earthy palette. Whimsical creatures and mythical structures quietly populate this captivating world. Modern folk art defines the look through a striking monochromatic blue palette. Clean vector lines build symmetrical, ornamental designs full of mystical symbolism. Visceral, high-contrast linework meets a stark palette of black, white, and blood red. Together they bring an ancient, brutal epic roaring to life. Graphic energy crackles through sharp, angular linework. A stark, monochromatic world is suddenly shattered by visceral splashes of intense, vibrant red. Natural forms are deconstructed into bold, geometric patterns across a stark, monochrome world. The end result reads like a futuristic and highly symbolic visual language. Mid-century nostalgia turns surreal in hyper-realistic, colorized photography. Dreamlike portraits set flawless innocence against a beautifully unsettling world. Delicate, sepia-toned linework weaves tales of whimsical fantasy. Intricate details blend human emotion with surreal nature for a melancholic, dreamlike feel. Meticulous ink stippling and fine linework give these mythological subjects a sculptural weight. It's a dark fantasy world that feels carved straight from ancient stone. A cabinet of curiosities brims with tangible, sculpted wonders. These macabre fantasies, shaped from bone-like clay, sit bathed in a warm, cinematic haze. Black and white perform a masterful dance across the page. Bold, fluid shapes and clever negative space merge typography with illustration for a dynamic, calligraphic look. Weathered wood and dried leaves form strange, forgotten little sprites. Their huge, soulful eyes and uncanny expressions evoke a world of rustic myth and unsettling whimsy. Psychedelic fantasy bursts with hyper-detailed texture and iridescent colour. Fantastical creatures wander luminous, dreamlike worlds, alive with swirling energy. Bold, graphic linework meets a striking high-energy palette. Electric cyan and fiery orange clash against deep blacks for a high-contrast, dramatic finish. And that brings another 50 picks to a close. There were actually so many cool ones I had to leave out from the selection. What stood out to me across this batch was just how much bold ink line work kept coming through, running all the way from gritty, high-contrast looks to softer storybook illustrations. The whimsical folk art and surreal fantasy styles showed up strongly as well, sitting right next to punchy neon and graphic poster work. And as always, it was the odd outliers that I enjoyed the most. The sculpted clay cabinet of curiosities, the unsettling mid-century photography, and those intricate steampunk schematics. If you'd like the other 150 styles, along with all the prompts I used, the prompt PDF is waiting for you over on my Patreon, with the link in the description as always. Drop a comment letting me know which of these caught your eye this time, and if there's a particular style direction or number range you'd like me to dig into next. I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you so much for watching, and let's continue prompting.